Sports.
The Chicago White Sox come to town with some breathing room in the Central Division with a 3-game lead. But the Sox have brought out the best in the Royals. In the last 8 meetings, the Royals have won 7. Chicago has also brought out the best in Luke Hochevar. His ERA against the Sox is 2.25. He gets the ball tonight in Game 1 next on Fox Sports Kansas City. Royals baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium, where the Royals are back in the thick of the Central Division race. 16 games to go, 10 against the top 2 teams in the division. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals won the season series with Chicago in 2000. Over the next 10 years, they won 0 season series against the White Sox. They broke through last year, going 11-7. Rex Hudler, they're even better this year. They're 10-5 against Chicago, and they have worn the Sox out over the last 8.
And it's been fun to watch. I'm telling you, our young Royals are taking it to the White Sox and other teams that are in contention, by the way, but it's been fun to see. Now, the White Sox, you don't have to show them these numbers. They already know them. Royals have been twice as good in almost every category, especially what's important are the wins. But you see the bullpen, overall ERA, batting average, all those are great. But one statistic that stands out that's not on there is a .315 batting average with runners in scoring position. They've been getting big hits as well.
And from the White Sox point of view, if they're going to be careful with a couple of hitters in this series, it'll be Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. City Chevy Dealers, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. By the Missouri Lottery, when you play, students win. Joel and Monty join us next.
Sox, and the Royals have beat the White Sox 10 times this year. In 2 of those games, Luke Hochevar was pitching. Joel Goldberg with Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. What does Luke need to do to be successful tonight?
Joe, I'd like to see Luke Hochevar look ahead. Forget about those last 4 starts where he had a 9.0 ERA. I'd like to see him build off his last win against the Minnesota Twins. It was his first win since July 31st. And I also want to remember it's the Chicago White Sox. He's pitched really well against the Sox this year with a 2.25 ERA.
We'll see if he can continue it. 16 games left for the Royals on the year, all in the division, 9 at home, including 3 against the White Sox. Ryan and Rex have the call of the first pitch coming up next.
Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. And a look at tonight's Subway Subprize standings. And they're the White Sox with a 3-game lead. They have been in first place since July 24th. They have not had a lead greater than 3.5 games. And they beat the Tigers yesterday in Chicago to extend their lead to 3. But that was yesterday, and they are well aware of their problems with the Royals. And as we've pointed out before, this is a team that contending teams don't want to be playing right now.
No, and that's a good thing. If the Royals were sputtering along, there'd be contending teams licking their chops.
Alejandro De Aza licking his chops, and on the second pitch of the game, it's his 8th home run of the year.
And that's just the second home run that Hoch has given up to the White Sox this year. Okay, so that's a ball right down the middle. Hoch is going to have to be careful. This is a team that hits for a lot of power, and not especially from De Aza. That's his 8th.
Back with a fastball for a strike to Kevin Youkilis.
Hoch's core pitches are good. He's got above average pitches. If he could keep them on the corners of the plate to set up his breaking ball and changeup, that would be good. Good hard fastball, slider, curve, and a change. He will try some cut fastballs and some sinkers at times.
Really missed the target badly there. 2 balls and 1 strike on Youkilis. Shattered his bat. Swung at a pitch that wasn't a strike, and Moustakas throws him out, 1 away.
Hey, last time the Royals faced the White Sox, they didn't have Euclid, who was away on paternity leave, and they didn't have Dunn in their lineup. So those were two big bats in their lineup that they were able to get a break from.
And now here is the lineup tonight. And as Hud mentioned, a team that hits a lot of home runs. They have the second most home runs in the major leagues, and now 193 after De Aza's leadoff home run. Adam Dunn has 39 of those homers for the White Sox, 28 more than he hit last year in his first season.
So that's got to be hands down comeback player of the year, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's an automatic slam.
2 balls, 1 strike. He is the league leader in walks. He is the league leader in strikeouts. 2-1. White Sox come to town. They've won 4 in a row. They swept a series at Minnesota and then played that makeup game yesterday against the Tigers. Very high in the air to the left side where Moustakas is all by himself, and he's out to the grass to make the catch. 2 down. Here are the Royals defensively tonight, presented by Ford.
All right. You got David Lowe in center field. He's getting another opportunity to go out there along with Tony Abreu. 2 guys that are being watched very closely by Royals front office to see how these guys can perform in meaningful games. Abreu's been good. He hasn't erred, and he's played second base for 7 games, but he's played a good shortstop and third base when we've seen him out there. He's been really good.
Outside to Paul Konerko. 23 home runs and a batting average over 300 for Paul Konerko. The White Sox have decided to go with the mustache look, apparently. Kevin Euclid trimming his trademark goatee down to a mustache. And now here's Paul Konerko. And Hud, your thoughts?
It's getting better. It's filling in more. You know, always early. It's gonna be. It'll take a little time for it to grow in, but I think he's looking good now.
It's kind of got that rough and tumble look to it.
Yeah,
you know?
It's coming in.
Paul Konerko has 42 home runs, 142 RBIs in his career against the Royals. 3 balls, 1 strike.
But this year, he's only had 2 home runs against him, which is good. 27 career at bats. Or excuse me, just at bats.
Moustakas plays the short hop. So the White Sox get a leadoff home run, but Hochevar comes back and gets Euclid, Dunn, and Konerko. The Chicago White Sox. is hitting .482. That's 27 out of 56. The Royals hope to ride that in this series, the last 3 games of the year against the Chicago White Sox. Escobar will be batting second behind David Lowe. And Tony Abreu will hit 9th. He will be at second base. Other than that, the Royals have been pretty consistent for the past couple of months, numbers 2 through 8. David Lowe has been described as a David DeJesus type player, but with more speed, meaning he's very good in the outfield, and David can play all 3 outfield positions. A good contact hitter, occasional power, but in the more speed department, he had 26 stolen bases at AAA this year, and of course that's just in 5 months of play. 1 ball, 1 strike against Gavin Floyd.
Well, he wasn't that thrilled with first pitch. He thought it was up a little bit, but he didn't say anything. He's up there to be the catalyst and get on base. Gavin Floyd, he can be really good, especially his last 5 starts when he's on. This guy's 6'6", 220 pounds. He's got a fastball that'll run up to 93. He cuts his fastball a little bit along with a slider. Good curveball he's got, and a changeup. Fastball command is important for him to establish it and then bring in his breaking stuff.
And if you put together all of his starts against the Royals, and we just showed you some of the numbers, we really haven't seen the best of Gavin Floyd. He is 4-8 in his career, and he only had 1 win in his first 9 against KC, but now has won 3 of his last 5. He's had some problems with his elbow this year. He's been on the disabled list twice. Went down in the middle of July and then at the end of August. So this is just his 2nd start since coming back from the disabled list for the 2nd time. Still 3-2 on David Lowe. Well, the sun has decided to give us a break, finally. And it is starting to feel like the fall. I think the high temperature in Kansas City today was anywhere between 70 and 72 degrees.
Yep, and it's beautiful too. It's kind of like postseason weather almost. It feels that way. And
about 68 degrees at first pitch tonight.
Quite a difference. And how about the at bat that David Lowe's putting on Gavin Floyd here to start this game? 7th pitch coming, or excuse me, 8th pitch coming now.
And it is ball 4. So a good start for David Lowe and the Royals. They get a base runner right after Chicago scored in the top of the 1st.
Okay, defending behind Gavin Floyd, sponsored by Ford, will show you their defense, which has been really good. They have the 2nd best fielding percentage in the American League behind Seattle at .988. Gordon Beckham, their 2nd baseman, has been really good defensively. He's been solid, just 6 errors. He's been a very good contributor as far as the defense goes. He's very focused out there and he's done a great job for them this year. Turns the double play as well as anyone, but he's got good range to his left and right.
Escobar just 3 out of 13 in the Angels series. He did steal a base, adding to his career high 29. David Lowe has 1 stolen base since joining the Royals. Escobar a big swing, and he hits a high foul just outside of the Royals dugout where Canerco makes the play. 1 out.
That really chaps a hitter, especially Escobar, who's been just really raking them. We mentioned 482. I mean, that 2nd pitch you pop up like that. Look at him, he's not happy.
Against the Chicago White Sox in a single season since 1945, only 2 Hall of Famers and Bernie Williams, who had a great career with the Yankees, have had a better season than Alcides Escobar this year. And right behind him, another Hall of Famer and Paul Molitor. Alex Gordon lines it into right center field. That'll get David Lowe to 3rd. Alex is going to try for 2, and he's in there with his major league leading 48th double of the year.
Boy, and that's excellent to be able to get that hustle double there. He read that perfectly. The throw by the center fielder. Wise was off balance and just an easy toss. Low goes to third, of course, but you see he just tossed it in there, and Gordon never stopped. That's wanting a double right out of the box when you leave it.
So a leadoff walk and a one-out double brings us to Billy Butler, who's hit in 9 in a row. He had 2 home runs in the Angels series, including number 100 in his career. And on the topic of home runs, Billy has 3 this year against Chicago, and he's driven in 10 against the Sox this season. Goes the other way and drops it into right field. That will score 2. So the Royals answer in the bottom of the first, and they take the lead.
All right, that's a good slice of hitting there. It's not a piece of hitting, that's a slice, and he'll take it when it falls. Look at his backside, fell out a little bit, but he waited long enough and just went with the pitch. That's a great piece of hitting by a .304 hitter with runners in scoring position this year, coming through right away.
And that gives him a new career high with 97 RBIs. He had 95 last year, and he had 95 when he came to the plate tonight. And ball 1-2, Salvador Perez. Perez was just 2 for 12 against the Angels with 1 big home run Saturday night against Ernesto Frieri, and the Royals come back in the bottom of the 9th. Billy Butler hit a 2-run home run to tie it. Perez hit one off the foul pole to win it. At the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's having a great September. Of course, he missed the first half of the season recovering from the knee surgery. So he's got some wear and tear, having gone through all the rehab to get his knee and his body in shape to get ready for the second half of the season. But at the same time, he doesn't have the innings that most of his teammates do.
No, and he's fresh. And I asked him earlier before the game about him hitting in the 5th spot. Is he comfortable? Does he like it there? Obviously you are, Salvin. He goes, I'll hit anywhere Ned puts me.
Stays alive at 1-2.
Now, longtime pitching coach Donnie Cooper of the White Sox told me before the game that there was a couple guys like Sale and maybe Jake Peavy. They'll let them work their way out of trouble. But there's some other guys on the starting staff that they'll go to the pin if they get in trouble. They'll go to the pin immediately. They're not going to wait around here in these meaningful games for these guys.
Don Cooper's already shaking his head down in the White Sox dugout. As Floyd, with 95 miles an hour and movement, strikes out Salvador Perez. That's his first and the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that had some heavy sink to it right there. That's a tough pitch. Looked good out over the middle, then it just sinks down underneath his bat.
And now Mike Moustakas, 2 for 10 against the Angels with a home run, his 20th of the year. And Floyd misses low, ball 1. Moustakas has hit 3 of those 20 home runs against Chicago, and he's driven in 8 against the Sox. Two 2-0. White Sox got a home run from De Aza to open the game. The Royals came back. David Lowe walked. Alex Gordon doubled. Billy Butler hit a 2-run single. And now Moustakas pops it up. Left side, Youkilis comes down from third. And that's the inning. The Royals get 2. Billy Butler has a new career high. 97 RBIs this year. And he gives the Royals a 2-1 lead at the end of one. Two-1 Royals to the second inning. Alex Rios, AJ Pierzynski, Alexei Ramirez against Luke Hochevar. Hochevar gave up a home run to De Aza on his second pitch, and then got Youkilis, Dunn, and Konerko. We were talking about the turnaround season for Adam Dunn when he batted in the first, and you could say the same for Alex Rios. One of just 5 players right now in the big leagues with at least 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. And his batting average has had a huge spike this year. Here's our Toyota league leaders. Batting average has gone up 70 points for Alex Rios. Adam Dunn and Alcides Escobar also in the top 5. Rios strikes out. He's had a terrible time in his career against Luke Hochevar, batting under 200. And Luke picks up his first strikeout of the night.
Yep, he knows what to do, Hochevar. He doesn't want to pitch away from contact, but he's got to stay on the corners and keep his stuff down.
AJ Pierzynski once again having a great year against the Royals, hitting .348. But against Luke Hochevar in his career, just 2 out of 19. 1-1.
Pierzynski, he pulls for power. He'll drop singles and doubles to the opposite field if you continue to pitch him away. But he's got some newfound power this year.
And Luke gets him to roll it over to Abreu, and in typical Pierzynski fashion, frustrated making it out, he flings his bat off to the right side. 2 down. Well, it feels like October tonight, and Oktoberfest is just around the corner. We'll be celebrating it here on Friday for an exclusive pregame event on the Budweiser patio. You'll enjoy German beer samplings, a select menu of German tastings, and great giveaways courtesy of Budweiser. Tickets just $25. That includes a seat. Go to Royals.com/Oktoberfest with a K for tickets. Curveball is down and away. 1-1 on Ramirez. AJ Pierzynski, I think in his mind, has always felt like he should hit 1,000.
A little bat toss there, and that's on and out. But hey, look, he's not the only frustrated White Sox when it comes to playing the Royals. They all knew what they were up against coming in here. They're not going to be intimidated. Look at AJ. He's still upset at himself. Alexi's putting together another good year, especially RBI-wise. He's got 69 ribbies for a shortstop. That's excellent.
Royals were playing him well. They had Abreu guarding the middle, and he throws him out. And now Hochevers retired 6 in a row since the home run. Kansas, the founder and executive director of CLJ Foundation, which stands for Community, Life Skills, and Jobs. That's a provider for adults with developmental disabilities in Wyandotte County. CLJ Foundation teaches adults with developmental disabilities vocational, life, and decision-making skills. And Connie is sitting in the Buck O'Neill Legacy seat at tonight's game. As Jeff Francoeur hits a little pop-up to short, Ramirez will handle that. And there's one down in the bottom of the second inning.
Congratulations, Connie, for helping out those that are mentally disabled. I have a special needs child who's 15 now and soon to be an adult, and he'll need somebody who steps out in their community and offers that kind of support. Thank you, Connie. Appreciate what you do.
Eric Hosmer goes the other way. He had been hitless in the Angels series, so he takes care of that with a base hit on his first pitch in this series.
Boy, and isn't it nice, too? I'll tell you, that's out in the middle of the plate. That'll tell you what kind of hitter he is. He's not a pull hitter. He's a guy who likes the ball out over the plate, and he'll shoot the gaps. And his power, in my opinion, is to center field and left center. Once he starts to figure out, when they keep pitching him inside, how to work that top hand in, because you got to have that top hand to pull it, that's when he's going to become a legitimate home run threat. He's still early, Hosmer is, in his learning curve.
Abreu hitting .326 for the Royals. He had a home run in the Angels series. Breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Royals got 2 runs off of Floyd in the bottom of the first. Look at his last 3 starts. Now the disabled list is mixed in there and coming back from the DL. But you add all of that up, and he's only pitched 7 innings in his previous 3 starts, and that covers a month.
They're going to have some bullpen guys on ready alert tonight, especially if the Royals mount some attacks and score a few more runs. They're not going to let Gavin Floyd stay around.
29 years old now. Gavin Floyd, 6'6". And he strikes out Abreu. That's Floyd's second. 2 down in the second. He's one of those guys who the White Sox have really waited on to develop into a top of the rotation type of a pitcher, and they thought he was on his way in 2008. He had 17 wins for the White Sox. He was 17-8. He pitched over 200 innings that year, but his record since then, 2009, 2010, 2011, and this year is 5 games below 500, 42-47.
Yeah, now he does like to pitch inside. He leads the league in hit batsmen with 14, so he's able to throw inside for effect.
And Lowe pops it up to the left side, and Ramirez to the grass. That's the inning. At the end of 2, the Royals lead Gavin Floyd and the White Sox 2-1.
Baseball as we honor one of the great right fielders of all time. 312 career batting average, 3,000 hits, 12 gold gloves, 15-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, and with all that, he was even better when it came to his community service. Lost his life in 1972 while on a plane delivering supplies to victims of an earthquake in Nicaragua. Baseball now honors those on every team that are active in the community. One nominee from every team, a winner unveiled during the playoffs. Alex Gordon is the Royals nominee this year, so congratulations to him. So active in the community. He and his wife Jamie Gordon with Alex's lemonade stand, and they helped send a baseball team from Nebraska, a little league team with 2 kids who lost their mothers to cancer, to Cooperstown last year. And Alex has been a rock, just like Billy Butler, here in this community. So very deserving of the award. And guys, I want to pass along too that it was really interesting talking to Irving Falou, who is a native of Puerto Rico and from the same town as Roberto Clemente, Carolina. And what I really found interesting, and he has an incredible amount of pride when it comes to Roberto Clemente, just as Puerto Ricans do, just as most Latin Americans do, is that he said that his grandfather was actually cousins with Roberto Clemente's wife. So a relation there.
All right, thank you, Joel. And that's to right center field. And David Lowe lays out, slides on the grass, and takes an extra base hit away from the White Sox center fielder, Dwayne Wise.
What a beauty. We talked about that before the game today. I said, you love center field? He goes, yeah, it brings back my wide receiver days. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to stretch out and catch, make me a good catch. And there it is early. Perfect grab. Great timing. great first step. You don't make that play unless you take the right angle. That's a beauty. Pitchers love guys behind them to get grass stains and dirt on their uniforms for them.
And now 0-2 on Gordon Beckham.
When this ball was hit, it looked to me like it was going to fall. But he cuts the ground with that speed and timed the dive perfectly. Barely got any grass stains on it.
And now Beckham strikes out. That's 2 for Hochevar. And with some help from his defense, he's retired 8 straight since the home run from De Aza to begin the game.
Okay, right in the middle of the plate, took a little speed off of it, and that's what messed up Beckham. Beckham goes back to the dugout, and the guys go, "What was that?" He goes, "I don't know. It looked good to hit, but I couldn't touch it."
De Aza homered on the second pitch of the game. Hit it into the White Sox bullpen in right field. Couldn't resist a curveball. And he's down in the count, 0-2. De Aza had been 0 for his last 9. And just 2 for 21 before that home run, his 8th of the year. Goes after a high fastball. And that will be in the first row.
Kate did what Salvi wanted. Here you go. The man was going, "You know what? I have a few of those at home. Young man, you take that." Salvi almost coming out of his catching crouch to let Hochevar know he wanted that high fastball. Almost got an out of it.
Outside, 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, we told you about Rios and Dunn having bounce back seasons, but here's another guy that's been a big surprise for the White Sox, getting a chance to be an everyday player in the big leagues for the first time and filling an important role leading off for Chicago. Alejandro De Aza hits it on the ground to Escobar, and there are 9 in a row retired by Luke Hochevar. After the home run, he got some help from his defense. David Lowe diving to take a hit away from Dwayne Wise. No better place to make a love connection than Kauffman Stadium. That's what the script says. Coming up this Thursday is Singles Night presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. A $15 ticket includes $10 in loaded value and access to a pregame party with DJ Ashton Martin at the Captain Morgan Bar starting at 6. For tickets, go to Royals.com/Singles Night.
You mean you read a script for that? I always thought you did that off the top of your head, as brilliant as you are.
Well, I was kind of missed the if you're single and looking to mingle. That was a catchy line.
And that was your own line? You improvised?
No, that was off the script. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, no, for the longest time, I'm glad you said you read a script. It looked like to me you were just letting it go.
Escobar again got a pretty fat pitch, and for the second time he pops it up in foul territory to the right side. This time Beckham comes over from second to make the play. And remember, Escobar was hitting .482 against Chicago, so I'm sure the White Sox spent a lot of time on him before the game tonight.
And now he popped up to the first baseman, first time up, and now to Beckham, second baseman. He's not happy. And neither am I, since I picked him on the hot watch, the pick to click.
Alex was not one of the selections. How about that? And he's doubled and scored. It was a hustling double for him in the first inning, his major league leading 48th double of the year. And then he and David Lowe scored on Billy Butler's 2-run single, giving Billy 97 RBIs. And now Floyd has settled down. Luke Hochevar's settled down after allowing the game opening home run. He's retired 9 straight. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that pitch was up, and Alex jumps all over it. He's 2 for 2 against Gavin Floyd.
Gordon pulled the ball there. Got it. Ball outside, out in front of the plate. He just raked it. You could tell by the sound he hit it squarely.
Billy Butler has a new career high 97 RBIs after driving in 2 in the first inning. And he's driven in 12 against the White Sox. Ramirez, how about that play? He had to improvise because of the hop, and then all of a sudden the bag was right in front of him, but he turns a 6-3 inning-ending double play. Got a Gold Glove winner in left field and a former Gold Glove winner in right field, Jeff Francoeur with the Braves. And this year, Francoeur leads the league in outfield assists. And our Sprint You Call It question for tonight: who wins a Gold Glove this year? A for Alex, B for Francoeur, C for both. And it's more likely these days that that could happen because the rules changed before last year, where the voters now have to designate a left fielder, a center fielder, and a right fielder, as opposed to years past when they would just vote for 3 outfielders, and many times it would just be 3 center fielders winning the Gold Gloves.
No, I think it's the adjustment they made is good. Now, Frenchie, typically guys get voted on by their offensive years too. So based on that, I'm going to say Gordon gets one again.
Youkilis is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls to the left side. So routine play for Escobar, a not so routine play for Ramirez.
No, watch him on the short hop. He actually wasn't even a short hop. He caught it before it hopped, and then he jumped over the sliding Gordon and was able just to bounce it there. It's however you get it there, it doesn't matter. Easy play for Konerko. Got your best athletes in the middle of the field, especially shortstops. Center fielder, second baseman, those are your guys that have to go side to side, up and back. Quick feet.
1-1 on Adam Dunn. On the topic of Gold Gloves, Alcides Escobar will be in consideration this year and many years. And as you pointed out, it seems unfair, but it's just the way it is. Offense factors into it. It doesn't factor into the actual ballot, but when the voters, which is the managers and the coaches, when they look at the Gold Glove ballot, whether they mean to or not, they think about what type of year the player also had at the plate. Adam Dunn popped to third first time up. Three and two.
You got a little triangle defense right here. Okay, now that's not the best triangle.
A heck of a triangle there.
But the idea is,
my young sons weren't watching that.
If he hits a ball on the ground, it's going that direction. So Abreu playing shallow right gives him a lot of range to get to it just like that. Oh no.
And because of that, Dunn will end up at second base. You know, it's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that happen, Hud, but when you have your second baseman so deep in right field, you have the added range. But if he makes an error, that error is made in shallow right field as opposed to on the infield dirt.
It is, and he's not used to playing it off the grass like that. So the hop, okay, it's 1, 2, 3. The third hop ate him up. Played it off to the side. Now, if he could have stayed in front of it, might have hit off his chest, but he played it to the side. Kicked all the way to the wall. His first error of the year.
You know, second baseman makes that error on the dirt. Well, he's got some help from the right fielder who's coming in. The first baseman is moving into position at first, but if it kicks to his left, the first baseman can go over and help him out. But you make that error out in shallow right field like he did with a faster runner than Adam Dunn, that runner could end up at third base.
Yeah, that's an error that's uncharacteristic because he was in the grass.
Konerko grounded to Moustakas in the first inning. Missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Konerko has really had a grinding type of a season. Early in the year in interleague play, he was hit on the face by Jeff Smarja of the Cubs, who's a hard thrower. He had a minor wrist surgery, which did not require him going on the disabled list. And remember, he had that collision with Gerard Dyson when he took an elbow to the head, and then that knocked him out with a concussion. But he's hit over 300 with 23 home runs. And earlier this year hit his 400th career home run.
We talk about long seasons in baseball, and they're very long. And a lot of the Royals players are finding out what it's like to go 6 months of playing every day and playing through pain, playing through adversity. But what Konerko has gone through this year, you had the right term, the word grind. It's been a grinding year for him. Never is it a cakewalk for any player, especially position guys.
3-2.
Every guy out there has got something nagging right now, some little injury somewhere that they play through.
And in the baseball world, Paul Konerko is no longer a young man. He is 36 years old.
.280 average with runners in scoring position is a good mark for the White Sox. Konerko, .292.
Got him on the corner. Well, Konerko put his head down immediately. He did not argue with Eric Cooper on his way back to the dugout. And close enough.
Right on the corner.
So 3 strikeouts for Hochevar, done at second base, and now Alex Rios. And Hochevar struck him out in the second inning. And there are certain pitchers that just give a hitter a bad time. No matter what he does, he just doesn't see the ball out of his hand. And Alex Rios did not look comfortable at the plate in the second inning when he struck out. And he's 4 for 22 against Luke. It is a cool night. The air is heavy, and because of that, it stays in the ballpark. White Sox are scoreless in the fourth. The Royals lead 2-1. Royals baseball is brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealer and by AT&T, the world's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Ryan Lefebvre with Rex Hudler, and next inning we'll be joined by Joel Goldberg. It is Twitter Tuesday. It is also game 1 of 3 between the Royals and the White Sox. The Royals have 16 more games, including tonight. And then the curtain comes down on the 2012 season. But 10 of those 6 will be against first place Chicago and second place Detroit. White Sox got a run in the first. Alejandro De Aza led off the game with a home run. Royals came back in the bottom of the first and got a 2-run single from Billy Butler. Gavin Floyd struck out Salvador Perez in the first inning. He'll be followed by Moustakas and Francoeur. To the right side, Gordon Beckham is there. 1 out. Twitter Tuesday, so send in your questions to @FS Kansas City. Ski caps tonight.
About it. It's chilly.
Mike Moustakas popped to third in the first inning. One and one. One ball, 2 strikes. Royals play 3 with Chicago and then 3 with Cleveland to wrap up this homestand. 1 more road trip remaining. Royals go to Detroit and Cleveland and then finish the series or the season here October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd against the Tigers.
And those games could knock out the Detroit Tigers. I mean, these games here, these Royals are excited about playing. They take it day to day. They don't look past the day, but when you're in a position like they're in, you want to take advantage of it and spoil.
On the line, Konerko turns around, gets it to Floyd, who's a big target. 2 down. Tomorrow night is our next Ink Student Night and Local Music Showcase. Just show your valid student ID at the box office. You'll get a $7 ticket. And make sure to get here early for live local music and drink specials in the outfield experience before the game. Royals.com/student night for tickets. And if you're wondering about the pitching matchup tomorrow, it's Luis Mendoza against 17-game winner Chris Sale. Francoeur, deep left field. De Aza at the wall, leaps. It's just over his glove. So Francoeur ends up with a double. That's the second time in the last 2 half innings. I think the air tonight, that heavy cold air, has kept the ball in the ballpark.
I agree with you. This ball any other night's out of here, and Frenchie thought so too. It had the height for certainly. And De Aza, he went all the way back to the wall and he jumps up, but there's no chance.
I don't know if he has the vertical to catch that ball, but it also looked like he went to the wrong part of the wall and then had to kind of work his way back to the left.
Yeah, ball hit that high. He had a hard time judging it.
Strike to Hosmer, 0-1.
He's going back. He looks for the wall. He knows where it is. And by the time when he took his eye off it, the ball just kind of moved on him and hit it 3 inches over his glove.
Hosmer into left center field. And De Aza for a moment lost it in the lights. But he makes the play, and the Royals lead Francoeur at second base. At the end of 4, the Royals lead 2-1.
We all know there is no superstitions in baseball. Actually, there are, but why does Alex Gordon have pine tar across his name tag in every game? That has been happening a lot. It's a simple answer, but have noticed it quite a bit, say, the last 2 or 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah, he does that before his first at-bat of the game. He goes over there and he lubes up his bat, gets all that pine tar on there, and he takes some full swings. And when he does, the bat goes across his back and his shoulder there. And he says that he kind of feels bad that they have to clean that every night, but that's his thing. That's what he likes doing.
And Royals fans will remember that Mike Sweeney used to have the same thing, too. He had a streak of pine tar on his back. So I guess the question, Joel, had to do with thinking that maybe Alex does that on purpose, that he deliberately wipes pine tar on his shoulder and his back, but he does not.
But he deliberately puts it all over his bat.
And oftentimes you see it all over the helmet. Not as big of a mark as usual tonight. Or maybe that just didn't come out of the wash.
Well, I think he'll keep taking those warm-up swings all night, and a little more pine tar will go on the shirt every time he takes a swing.
Yeah, look at how shiny and gunky.
Gunky.
There are pine trees that don't have that much pine tar. A.J. Pierzynski is going to try for 2. He is out at second base. And the Royals defense has really picked up Luke Hochevar in the last 3 innings.
Now, Pierzynski, previous 2 pitches, was shooting some ball down the left field line, and each time Gordon kept moving that way, so he was ready for it. He gathers himself, gets his feet under him, makes a strike right there to Abreu. It puts the tag on Pierzynski, and that is just another Gold Glove play by Gordon.
And a strike to Alexei Ramirez. What else do you have, Joel?
Well, I got another one. This one pertaining to the 100th RBI of Billy Butler, or he's closing in, I should say, on 100 RBIs. It comes from Ron Riley, as we are going to get the fly out there. And this one is, who is the last Royal to hit 100 RBI? So maybe a trivia question, too. Ryan, you always know this stuff.
Yeah, only because I read it recently. Beltran in 03, right?
There you go.
Yep.
You don't need to qualify it. You know it.
Yeah.
It is a long time.
Well, I don't remember it as if, like, you know, in 04 I wasn't saying, oh, the Royals haven't had 100 RBI since last year, and then 05, 2 years. Okay. I just read it a few days ago.
At J_Montgomery 21, as in the guy sitting next to me, Jeff Montgomery, wants to know, hey, Hud, what about Adam Dunn being the hands-down comeback player of the year? Why not Alex Rios?
I think Dunn's numbers are more impressive.
Wow. Quick and to the point. So was that inning. 8 pitches thrown by Hochevar.
from Ryan Seville. Any word on what day Odorizzi gets the start? I'm coming on Sunday. Can you make this happen? Everybody wants to know that has tickets Friday, Saturday, or Sunday when he's going to start. The thought, guys, was maybe Sunday, but with Luis Mendoza having strep throat, everybody's been moved up, and they're not sure when Mendoza will be back, and that'll affect what day Odorizzi pitches. But Ned Yost has said it'll be one of the games against Cleveland.
Yeah, thank you for correcting me, Joel. I said an inning ago Mendoza was starting tomorrow.
Well, he was.
Because he was the schedule. Bruce Chen will be the starter tomorrow against Chris Sale. As Abreu grounds out to Ramirez. Tony Abreu is 0 for 2, one down in the 5th.
So that is still to be determined. And they think that Mendoza could get back quickly. They just don't know as of right now when that'll happen. So we'll see what goes on with that. A question from
Joe. Hold on, though.
Yep.
We could see Jake out of the pen, though, won't we?
Any night.
Okay.
Until you get close to that start. And as Monty was saying on the pregame show, he really could throw a couple of days before whenever that start is, providing he doesn't throw that many pitches, almost just like a side session. So we're going to get a quick out but a close play. Still a little time for more Twitter. Brian Burkett, who has improved the most this season, Hud?
Who's improved the most?
Well, let's be fair. Since Rex wasn't here last year, how about who's improved the most since the season started, as opposed to compared to last year?
Maybe that's what the guy means.
That might be what he meant. Yeah.
But I'm going to, off my shallow brain, I'm going to talk about Johnny Giavotella. I think he's made the biggest strides. He was a little bit stiff when he first got called up early in the year. He went down, came back, and now they've given him a chance, and he's a much improved player, in my opinion. He's a lot better now. Go ahead. What do you think?
No, I would say either Tim Collins or Kelvin Herrera, maybe.
Yeah, no, those guys too in the pen, but from a position player standpoint, it's Gio. But I think Collins would be my vote for a guy in the pen.
Of course, I'm going back to last year then again, too. So tough to say. Here's one for you, Hud. This is from Irish Fan for Life. Funny that you were at the Notre Dame game a couple of weeks ago. Wants to know, what are the chances of Rex running for mayor?
Which city?
All right.
Well,
Hudville.
Not very good. I would tell him that.
On that note.
That is a 7-pitch, bottom of the 5th inning.
The only mayor I'll reign over is my household when I get home, but that'll be up to my wife. She'll let me know.
Enjoying the game, keeping score as always with my stepdad Jimmy. So happy birthday, Mom. And a keeping score tonight. Tough start for Luke Hochevar. Gave up a home run to begin the game. Now he's retired 14 out of 16.
Yeah, he's been mowing them down. Good defense behind him. We saw David Lowe stretch out and make a great play. But also, Hoch is keeping the ball on both sides of the plate like he's supposed to. Dave Island, be pretty happy with him in his outing.
Gordon Beckham. That's driven to deep left field. I don't think the weather is going to hold this one. And it is well out of here. Beckham adds to his career high. That is his 16th home run of the year. So Hochevar's given up 2 home runs. But fortunately for the Royals, both times nobody has been on base. And the game is tied at 2.
And you can tell when a guy's got one. You can tell by the sound and the swing and the location of that pitch. Right over the plate, he barreled it. He's one of the reasons the White Sox have been so good this year is because of what Gordon's bringing them defensively and offensively.
And De Aza, who has the other home run, shoots one through the left side, so he has a 2-hit game. And the White Sox have 4 hits now in 5+ innings. Here's our Time Warner pitch speed comparison. Floyd and Hochevar, both 29 years old, both throwing 93 tonight. You can get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. Over the inside, a strike to Kevin Youkilis, who has grounded out twice. Now Youkilis, as far as his batting average, he hasn't done a whole lot better with the White Sox than he did with the Red Sox, hitting in the 230s, but he's hit 15 of his 19 home runs this year with Chicago. Pitch rides inside. Royals want an appeal. They will not get it. 1-1 on Youkilis.
Now he shoots his homers to left and left center, but in Chicago he goes deep to right as well because it's reachable for a right-handed batter. It's a launching pad there.
1-2, and Youkilis isn't happy with Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire.
Well, that's good late movement on that pitch there. It's a good hard sinker. Took a little something off. I like Eric Cooper's strike zone. It's a little bit bigger, but that tells the hitters to swing the bat.
Left side, Moustakas out at second base, double play. And again, the defense comes through for Hochevar.
And just another double play started by Moose. He leads the league for third baseman in that category. Stakes back. He's got great feet, over the top feed to Abreu. Good arm by Abreu. He just snaps that throw. You see how he straddles the base right there and just really good arm. I like Abreu. His natural spot is second base.
Pulled foul by Adam Dunn, who has reached on an error and popped to third. An error on Abreu, his first as a Royal.
He's ready. He's talking to himself. He's saying, come on, bring it to me again.
1-1 on Adam Dunn.
Talking with Dave Island before the game, I said, hey, Dave, in your meetings you have before each game, what do you do with Salvi? Do you have all the pitchers and catchers in one room and then you just give out the game plan? He says, no, I give the game plan to Salvi, the starting catcher that night, ahead of time. So he needs to study it and know what we're going to talk about in the meeting. And after he studies it, then we all have a meeting with the pitchers. So Salvi's already on the game plan. And they said his retention of that game plan is off the charts. He remembers every little detail. And in between innings, Salvi will go in there and Dave will say, okay, we got this. We got Youkilis. We got Dunn and Konerko coming up here. Remember, how are we going to pitch these guys? And he tells him.
Dunn strikes out looking.
Great student.
Hochevar has 4 strikeouts, but the White Sox tie the game on the Beckham home run.
Just like clock.
Tonight's AT&T Uverse Reverse Replays.
And it's Alex Gordon again. Offensively, as he legged that double, scored a run, got him another single, and made this outstanding throw out to A.J. Brzezinski, who thought he could hit a double out of there, but Gordon said, nope, I'll give you a single and you're out.
Our Sonic Slam Hitting contestant is Joellen Harshman from Kearney, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Joellen wins $300. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Joellen wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. 2-2 on Alex, who is 2 for 2. And he is 8 out of 21 with a couple of home runs against Floyd. And Floyd tied him up with a hard cut fastball in on his hands. Floyd has 3 strikeouts. Well, I appreciate your support all season long, and the night where we salute you is coming up. Fan Appreciation Night is Saturday. The Indians will be in town. You'll enjoy a night of games, giveaways, and great prizes. The first 20,000 fans will also receive a Royals fleece blanket for all of your sporting events in the fall and the winter. That's presented by Sprint. For tickets, go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS.
Fleece blanket, man. Perfect timing. Could use a fleece blanket tonight.
1-2 on Billy. Probably are some fleece blankets out there tonight. Time for our AT&T trivia question for tonight. We're the only 3 Royals to ever have seasons with a 300 average, 30 home runs, and 100 RBIs. 3 Royals. Billy's got a good shot at accomplishing that as he lifts it to right field. Rios makes the play. 2 down.
George Brett, Amos Otis, and Hal McRae.
Just like that. You're batting .333. You're 1 for 3. Strike to Salvador Perez.
How about George Brett, Frank White, and Willie Wilson?
Line to right. That's caught by Rios. Royals down on just 11 pitches at the end of 6. The Royals and the White Sox are tied at 2. Panera Bread, now with 24 KC Metro locations. Visit us online at PaneraKansas.com. By Thoroughbred Ford, the best deals on new Fords are at thoroughbredford.com. And by AT Uverse, the new wireless receiver from AT Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Tied at 2 as the White Sox bat in the 7th inning, and Coach Haver drops a curve for a strike to Paul Konerko.
Boy, both pitchers just cruising along, getting early count outs.
Luke is at 80 pitches, and number 81 is down and away, 1-1. And it always seems a little worse when you're giving up home runs, but Luke has only given up 2 runs, that is, on 2 solo home runs in 6 innings, to a team that's 5th in the league in runs scored, 2nd in home runs, and Konerko had a very weak swing. And Escobar has all the time he needs to throw him out. And Paul Konerko is 0 for 3. Well, with the cooler temperatures and the cold months approaching, the Royals coat drive at Kauffman Stadium is set for Thursday and Friday. You can drop off items outside of the Diamond Club from 6 to 8 p.m. That's in the concourse right behind home plate. Fans are encouraged to donate blankets as well, along with coats and winter accessories, and it's going to benefit Safe Home. If you'd like tickets, go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS.
Speaking of community work, how did your Gloves for Kids charity go last night?
Very well. Thank you for asking, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to thank the 10 members of the Royals on the field that showed up to sign autographs, members of the Royals front office that helped assist, and thank you to the folks at Rally House North, as Alex Rios, who just missed a home run his last time up, and that ball is almost up the Hall of Fame in left field. Rios has his 24th of the year. That's the 3rd home run given up by Luke Hochevar tonight, but again, nobody was on base for any of the 3.
Well, cold air, driving rainstorm, or a snowstorm, that ball's out in any of that conditions there. That ball was really hit hard.
The White Sox are really jumping on his fastball.
Yep. And when it's located right there, it's going to get hit. Try to keep it in the yard, but when you have a hitter like Rios who's having a special season this year, he knows what to do with that elevated fastball on the inner half. Hit it right there.
And there's a line drive into right field. The White Sox really getting good swings over the past 3 innings. Brzezinski has his 2nd hit. Runner at first with 1 out.
And you notice the location? It's right over the plate.
Before the Rios home run, we were talking about last night's event, and thanking everybody that was involved, but especially I want to thank everybody that came out. I mean, it's the people in Kansas City that donate not just their resources to make Gloves for Kids work, but also their time. And they filled up Rally House North, and it was a great event. So thank you for asking.
Yeah, no, are you kidding? That's exciting. Glad that you do that, and especially with the participation of the players on their off day, tells you about these Royals, how they like to contribute in their own community here. Did Ned make it?
Ned actually approached me and asked if he could be involved in some way, and I gave him the date. He probably doesn't want me to say this, but I will. It was his 35th wedding anniversary yesterday, and when he looked at the date, I said, don't worry about it, I'll get somebody else. I appreciate you asking, we'll do it another time. Nope, he wanted to be there as long as he could be in the first group, and he was. So I appreciate him doing that, and I appreciate his beautiful wife, Deborah, of 35 years, allowing him to do that right before they went out to dinner. So there's.
That's awesome. On a special day like that for Ned to give of his time, too. I mean, it speaks a lot of you, Ryan, and what you've built here in your years. And these players all willing to come out and make Royals fans happy on this day and raise money for gloves for kids. That's outstanding.
I asked him 3 different times. I said, "Are you sure?" And Ned sometimes gets that look. Just ask Nate Bukaty. He said, "I'm sure. I'll be there." Okay, thank you. And he was the first one to show up.
Love it.
So Tim Collins getting ready in the bullpen as Hochevar will pitch to Dwayne Wise. He's hit the ball hard twice, both to center field, and he lost a double at least on a diving play by David Lowe in the 3rd. And Luke hits the outside corner with strike 1.
It's amazing how big league hitters will let you know when you're not located. If that ball's out over the plate, they don't miss it. They hit it hard. Now, it might go to somebody, but hitters are trained anything out over to hit it when they're on the corners and located where they're supposed to. You don't hit them as consistently.
And I think that's a misconception when you're talking about the elite hitters in baseball, and the feeling that they hit the nasty curveball and the nasty slider and the devastating splitter, and they don't.
Not very often.
Wise lifts it to left field. Pierzynski goes back to tag as Alex makes the play. Pierzynski will hold. 2 outs. But with those elite hitters, if you get a pitch in what is known these days as a hot zone or a nitro zone, they don't miss it.
Right, that's amazing how well they're trained. Their eyes are letting their hands know exactly where that ball is located out over.
Beckham has one of the 3 home runs tonight. Homer to left in the 6th inning, his 16th of the year. That's a new career high. His batting average is at .240. And Beckham in his rookie year hit .270. His average has gone down, but his power has gone up.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's his home run earlier tonight. Three solo shots.
No balls, 2 strikes. One number that Hochevar has corrected tonight compared to his previous 3 is walks. He walked 10 in his previous 3 starts over 13 innings, but tonight no walks in 6 2/3 innings. And back to Luke. He'll flip to first to put an end to the inning. White Sox hit another home run. They have taken the lead 3-2 to the bottom of the 7th. Royals would have taken that before the game started. The Royals are down by 1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Royals scored 2 in the bottom of the 1st against Gavin Floyd and none since. Floyd has knocked down the last 7 Royals and 10 of the last 11. He has gotten Moustakas on a pop out and a ground out. Moustakas, Francoeur, and Hosmer coming up.
Well,
1-1.
With Detroit up 8-1 at Comerica Park, you know that they're watching the scoreboard in this game right here. Tigers will pull for the Royals for 3 days, and that's it.
I like how you said the White Sox are watching that score, because it's the macho thing these days to say, oh, we don't pay attention to that stuff. We just worry about what's going on with us. Or we don't read anything in the newspaper or listen to what they're saying on radio. We just worry about what we're doing.
That's company line. But they're watching in Detroit, especially.
So there's the scoreboard right now that has just flipped over to Toronto and New York postponed. Boston and Tampa Bay tied at 3. There's the Detroit-Oakland score, as well as the games later on tonight on the West Coast. The Angels and the Rangers. Ball one on Jeff Francoeur, who has doubled and popped to short. 68% believe that Alex Gordon will win a Gold Glove again this year. 18% believe Francoeur will as well. Or I should say only Francoeur, and then 14% believe both will win a Gold Glove. Francoeur is not very happy with that last call from Eric Cooper.
Well, I told you, Eric Cooper has a bigger strike zone.
Cooper, Hud, has been a White Sox good luck charm, and specifically for former White Sox pitcher Mark Burley. Mark Burley, who pitched so well against the Royals, he has a no-hitter and a perfect game to his credit. Both times Eric Cooper was behind the plate. Gavin Floyd using all 6 foot 6 inches and then some to go up and get that ground ball from Francoeur. 2 down in the 7th inning, and now Floyd has retired 9 in a row. Back to our AT&T trivia question for tonight. Billy Butler has a chance to become the 4th Royal to hit 300 with 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. Now we've got one right, and that's George. You mentioned Amos Otis, which was a good selection. That was incorrect. Then you said Frank and Willie. You're a little heavy on the home runs with those two.
Okay.
I'm going to throw in Jermaine Dye. And how about Danny Tartable?
All right, get back in the game. Ooh.
Tartable did it twice. That is right over the bag on the line. Hosmer didn't come out of the batter's box. So he's down. So are the Royals. Floyd has retired the last 10. To the 8th inning, Chicago leads by 1.
Era takes us around the league. Blue Jays and the Yankees rained out doubleheader tomorrow. Minnesota and Cleveland battle for last place. Indians coming here for the weekend. Detroit on top of Oakland 8-2. Big for them as Miguel Cabrera goes deep. Prince Fielder 257th career home run. Boston and Tampa all tied at 3. Texas and LA coming up later tonight, along with Baltimore and Seattle. The races have been unbelievable. Ryan?
All right, thank you, Joel. A Chevy call to the bullpen. Tim Collins will take over in the 8th in a 1-run game. So Collins on for the 68th time. Luke Hochevar went 7 innings. He gives up 3 runs, and this is the beginning of the 4th time through the order. So a good time to get a fresh arm in there. Hochevar gave up 3 runs, 7 hits, 3 solo home runs, and no walks. And De Aza down in the count, 0-1. De Aza singled in the 6th, led off the game with a home run, and then Hochevar after that went on to retire 10 in a row. Now thinking about a bunt. 1-1.
Hoch did a nice job. 3 solo home runs usually won't hurt you too badly, but Royals haven't scored their runs like they have earlier against this team.
Moustakas comes in and gets De Aza.
The Royals have outscored Chicago this year 69-46. It's 23 more runs than Chicago, but they hadn't started off here tonight like that.
And now Kevin Youkilis 0 for 3, and he grounded into a double play his last time up. Kevin Youkilis is 3 out of 30 against the Royals this year.
Okay, double play he hits into earlier. Moose started with no problem. Abreu finished it.
Oh, 2. Collins, the last time the White Sox were here, gave up Kevin Youkilis' 1,000th career hit on August the 12th, a little over a month ago. Laid off the high fastball. Let's go to Joel.
Well, Monty and I were just looking at some numbers and want to reflect on what Hud was just saying about only 3 solo homers by Luke Hochevar. The White Sox, as you would expect, have out-homered the Royals this year, now 21-17, but such a big run differential in favor of the Royals. Of those 21 home runs hit this year, 15 have been solo home runs.
That makes a big difference. I mean, if you would have said that Luke was going to give up 3 home runs tonight, you think, boy, it's going to be a long night. But 3 home runs with nobody on base and 3 total runs in 7 innings. As we said when the inning began, everybody would have taken that. Collins goes with a changeup to strike out Youkilis, 2 down in the 8th inning.
That's a great pitch for him. Mid-90s fastball, big curve, and that straight changeup. He can get righties or lefties on that pitch. Collins, with the help of Dave Island adjusting his delivery and the mechanics of it, has really had a solid season.
Ball 1-2, Adam Dunn. Last year, Tim Collins in 67 innings walked 48. The Royals really wanted him to improve that this year. Well, this year he's thrown 67 innings and 48 walks, has been cut down to 31. He struck out 60 last year in 67 innings. This year in 67 innings, 91 strikeouts.
Ooh, man. What a huge improvement.
2-1 on Dunn. Mentioned that Youkilis got his 1,000th hit against Collins last time the White Sox were here. Right after that, Adam Dunn hit his 400th career home run. So a couple of guys celebrating milestones in the White Sox dugout that night. A 1,000th hit and a 400th career home run. Three and two. Matt Thornton is the lefty. Jesse Crane is the righty. Thornton looks like he's ready to come in. And the Royals have Abreu, Lowe, and Escobar scheduled to hit, while Crane is, looks like he's just starting to get loose, still playing catch. Dunn will walk with 2 outs. That's his league-leading 98th walk of the year. And the first walk given up by a Royal all night. And it comes with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Also means Ed Yost comes out, and he'll go with the right-hander for Paul Konerko. Blue Crew, that'd be a great holiday gift presented by U.S. Toy. Members receive a batting practice jersey, a backpack, a water bottle, ticket vouchers, front of the line access for every Sunday fun run, much more, and all that for just $20. You can join now at Royals.com/Blue Crew, or you can stop by the U.S. Toy store in Leawood. So Coleman comes on in a 1-run game. Dunn's at first, 2 outs, and Coleman pitching to Paul Konerko. Two 2-0. Konerko is 1 for 5 against Coleman before tonight. That one hit was a home run.
He tries to locate on the corners with his fastball and sweeps him with a slider. It's his out pitch.
Three 3-0 with Rios on deck. And Konerko walks on 4 straight pitches. So the Royals went 8 2/3 without a single walk tonight, and now the last 2 have reached with a walk. And that pushes Dunn into scoring position for Rios, who just missed hitting a home run in the 4th inning and then hit a long home run in the 7th inning.
Again, uses two hands, kept him on the bat the whole time. Quick swing, great follow through. Coleman's having a hard time finding the zone here. Now Lewis, he's been holding batters to a .214 average over his last 19 outings. He's been good. He has 32 strikeouts in 23 2/3 innings over that time. He's been getting the job done. And Ned, Collins might have been able to stay in. He's got good numbers against righties, but Ned's saying, you know what, we're going to stop the middle of their order right here. Not that Collins couldn't have, but the right-handers have a harder time figuring out that side winding delivery there. It's still harder, but Lewis hadn't found the strike zone in 6 pitches.
Rios is 0 for 3 against Coleman. 2-1. That applause was not from the heart.
Nope.
And now 3 balls, 1 strike with Pierzynski on deck. And Francisco Bueno, a lefty, warming up in the bullpen. Full count.
Rios is saying, give me one more of those. He liked it. Just missed it. Reynolds will be moving. The infielder's play is at first base. Salvador Perez was waving his arms back there to remind the infielders of that.
And Rios was almost hit by the pitch. So with 2 outs and nobody on, 2 walks and a hit batter. And Ned's back out there again to bring in Bueno to face Pierzynski. They're going to call that a walk. I thought Eric Cooper said it nicked him on the jersey. It's a walk. So 3 straight walks to load the bases, and now Bueno. Euclid, and then he walked Dunn, bringing in Lewis Coleman. Coleman walked Konerko and Rios, and the Royals didn't walk a single hitter for 7 2/3 innings. And now 3 straight to load the bases for A.J. Pierzynski. He'll face Francisco Bueno for the first time. Jose Lopez is going to run for Paul Konerko at second base.
AJ's 3 for 10 with the bases loaded this year for the White Sox. And he's hitting .250 with 3 homers off of lefties.
Now, Pierzynski's a catcher. And I don't know if this has anything to do with what I'm about to say, but usually when a hitter faces somebody for the first time, a reliever in the middle of the game, most guys might go over to the dugout and they might get a quick scouting report from the hitting coach, or maybe they've only seen a guy once or twice and just want to get it updated. Pierzynski's never faced Bueno. He never left the warm-up area. He just stood there and watched Bueno warm up. That was his scouting report.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that. That's baseball the way it is. And he stood out there, Pierzynski, and he watched Bueno warm up, and he saw he's got a curveball and slider and a changeup, and he watched him throw all those pitches. And so he's going to say, all right, I'm going to go up there and look for a pitch to hit. Keep it simple.
And he hits a slow roller to Moustakas. He'll go to the bag for the force and end the inning. So all of that, the White Sox fail to score. Royals down by 1. City Royals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Ryan Lefevre with Rex Hudler and Joel Goldberg. Our director is Steve Kurtenbach, producer Joe Lavero, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson. Our third baseman is Jose Lopez. Our first baseman is Kevin Youkilis. And our producer of Royals Live is TJ McGinnis. And our new pitcher is Matt Thornton.
You covered him.
Abreu, shallow right field, but Rios was shallow, and he runs up to make the play, and Abreu is 0 for 3. And with a left-hander to the mound, Ed Yost will go to his bench and bring on Jason Bourgeois to bat for David Lowe.
This will be Bourgeois' 4th pinch hit opportunity of the year, given to him by Ned.
Outside ball 1 from Thornton. That is a fair ball. Pierzynski jumps on it. Bourgeois is out. And Bourgeois immediately looks back, thinking it should have been called a foul ball. That's all. No argument.
It's nothing worse than that. Now, if it hits him in the leg, that's good. He gets another chance. It would have been a foul ball, but that's a bummer for him.
So Thornton gets 2 quick outs and now gets Escobar. Escobar's 0 for 3, and that's headline news this year against the White Sox, as he was hitting .482 on the year against them when the game began. And that's blasted to left field. A lot of topspin, and it's caught by De Aza. So he just got on top of it enough. And Thornton has a very quick 7-pitch bottom of the 8th inning. Chicago hangs on to a 1-run lead.
On the winning side, and we'll talk about it all on Boulevard Royals Live. Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery getting ready for it. As of right now, the 12th game out of 16 between these teams, decided by 3 runs or less, and it was the pitchers shining tonight. We'll also tell you about tomorrow's pitchers. Chris Sale is supposed to go up against Luis Mendoza again. Mendoza with strep throat, so it'll be Bruce Chen. We'll preview that battle of lefties, hear from Ned Yost, player reaction, and much more on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Joel. And the White Sox will be facing Vin Mazzaro as they come up in the 9th inning, the 5th Royals pitcher tonight. And Ned Yost used 3 pitchers to get through the 8th. The White Sox got 3 straight walks with 2 down, but Bueno came on and got Pierzynski to ground out. To add to what Joel was talking about with some close games with Chicago, Bourgeois also stays in the game in center field. The Royals have been playing a lot of close games, period, and especially at home. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the first 3 games of this series against the Angels, all were decided by 2 runs or less. 11 of the last 12 home games have been decided by 2 runs or less, and 8 of those have been 1-run games. There hasn't been a lot of good reasons to leave Kauffman Stadium early. Royals have played the 2nd most 1-run games in the American League. They have played 47, and only Seattle has played more. They played 49. To Hosmer, who goes down to a knee, and he goes to the bag. So what does all that mean for the future, Hud? All these close games.
Well, it means that they're in games, and if they could find a way to get bigger hits off closers, I think that's the one thing that they've lacked this year. They haven't really busted too many closers. They've gotten a few, But once they start doing that a little bit more regular, they're going to find out that confidence and we can win games, guys, no matter what. We've done it before. The fact that they've been scoring a lot of runs late in games, especially here in the second half, they've been playing catch up and come from behind, and that gives them an extra step, an extra confidence. That's what that does. And look, this whole season has been a tremendous learning year for the young Royals, and you put away that 0-12 losing streak and that 6 games in July, the Royals will be right there competing in meaningful games, playing meaningful games right now. But they learned from that. Strong bullpen they have, and there's Potovy.
Royals at the moment are 7-9 in September against mostly contending teams. They had an outstanding August after a bad July, and the question comes up year after year because this isn't the first time where the Royals have had a season that has fallen short of expectations, but an end of the year that has exceeded expectations, and everybody wonders, does that carry over to next year? What does that mean for next year?
It means confidence, and you continue to find the positives. You draw positives from negatives. That's how you survive at this level, and you have to continue to look for those positives. You can't dwell on the negative side if you're a player. Fans, they're gonna ride that fence, but players have to continue to focus and believe they can win a championship, not just win their league and get to the playoffs, although that would be a good goal. They have to believe that they can win a championship, and they're building that way. With the help of ownership in the offseason, we're all hopeful we can find some good pitching, and by golly, with the great players they have, no reason they can't. Gordon going to lead off the inning.
Addison Reed is warming up, so Thornton probably just going to face Alex Gordon with the lefty-lefty matchup. And there's Reed warming up alongside lefty Donnie Veal. After Alex, it's Billy Butler and Salvador Perez. 2 more hits for Alex tonight. He has 56 multi-hit games this year, 3rd best in the league, and trailing only Miguel Cabrera and Derek Jeter. Doubled and scored in the first, singled in the third. White Sox got 1 in the first. The Royals scored 2 in the first to take the lead, but they haven't scored since. And Chicago has scored in the 6th and the 7th. 3 balls, no strikes.
Gordon's put together another great season, and to be mentioned with Jeter and Miguel Cabrera, those are 2 guys that are in the MVP running.
corner, so the count goes from 3-0 to 3-2. Alex is 3 out of 10 against Matt Thornton. We'll do it again.
Thornton just comes at you fastball slider. Doesn't mess around. He's got a good mid-90s fastball, and he tries to spot it. Very reliable late inning guy.
Struck him out, got him with a fastball down below the knees. And the Chicago White Sox pitchers have retired the last 13 Royals. And Thornton comes back from 3-0. Gets a strikeout, and as we expected, Robin Ventura is going to call on Addison Reed with Billy Butler and Salvador Perez coming up. 3-2 White Sox in the ninth, 1 out. In the bottom of the ninth inning was Saturday, and Billy Butler and Salvador Perez played huge roles in a win.
Yep, they took care of that, didn't they? First time in the history of the club they won on 2 home runs back-to-back at the end of the game. That foul pole was beautiful, man. That was playoff atmosphere. Hey, these guys were pumped. He should have been Salvy's first career walk-off.
Addison Reed comes on, and he comes on with 1 out, so he only has to get 2 outs for a save and nobody on base. So pitchers mostly prefer to get a clean inning, not come on with men on base, but it's a little different when the inning has begun but there's nobody on and 1 out.
Yeah, and Ventura's been going with different guys at the end of the game. Reed, he's 7th in the league as far as closers go with 27 saves. He got that yesterday against Detroit. He only faced 1 batter.
Staying away from Billy, 2 balls and no strikes. Billy drove in both runs way back in the first inning, which gave the Royals a 2-1 lead until the 6th. The White Sox tied it, and Chicago took the lead in the 7th. Catches the inside, 2-1. The Royals have not had a hit since the 4th inning. The White Sox have retired the last 14 Royals. Ooh, he got a good pitch and fouled it away.
Fastball slider. Addison Reed got a changeup he'll mix in every so often if he needs it.
Royals have scored a couple of runs against him each of the last 2 times they faced Addison Reed.
July 13th, that Royals. He blew a save versus the Royals earlier in the season, so the Royals know they can get him. But they're going to have to work quickly. I believe it was July 13th.
And Billy hits it right to Beckham. 2 down. Tell you one thing about the White Sox, since Kenny Williams has been general manager, they do not shy away from moving a player up quickly through the system. And here's Addison Reed, who was drafted just 2 years ago and then got to the big leagues last year. There's Kenny Williams here tonight. Very tense as he's trying to help the White Sox will themselves through the final out of this game.
That can be a lonely job.
Center field, shallow. Wise is there, and tonight Addison Reed gets the job done. And the Chicago White Sox and their bullpen, starting with Gavin Floyd with 2 outs in the 4th inning. The White Sox retired the last 16 Royals in a game that took 2 hours and 14 minutes.
Man, a lot of quick outs. Hochevar did a nice job along with Gavin Floyd.
3 solo home runs for the White Sox, and they take game 1 3-2. We'll be right back.